In a previous story, I shared The Boy on the Porch, about a little boy, about 4 years old, who was found by a rancher who ended up, along with his wife, raising the boy who became a doctor in their local community. This story is a sequel to that story. It's about how that boy got on the porch in the first place. The song in her memory. Jill Morgan had once lived a quiet life in Chicago, a job at a bakery, a small apartment, and a little boy with bright eyes who loved to sing along with her. But all of that was stolen the night she and her son were kidnapped. The men who took her were part of a trafficking ring moving across the country. Jill was drugged, beaten, and dragged from place to place, barely conscious of her surroundings. Her son cried for her, clinging to her shirt, until the kidnappers grew tired of dealing with the child. Somewhere in western Nebraska, they stopped at an abandoned shack. They left the boy on the porch, like discarded luggage, and drove away. Jill never knew. The drugs, the trauma blurred her mind into fog. She remembered flashes, a small hand in hers, a giggle, a lullaby, but nothing she could hold on to. She felt the ache of motherhood without the memory of her child. Months later, in Seattle, everything changed. Katie Reynolds, an off-duty sheriff's deputy, stopped at a gas station for a bottle of water. She noticed a woman stumbling near a van, eyes vacant, bruises visible under the fluorescent lights. Something in Katie's spirit stirred. The same still, small voice Elijah heard centuries ago. Go back. Katie approached gently. Ma'am, are you okay? The men nearby stiffened. Jill swayed. Katie saw fear in her eyes and something else, a plea. Katie acted fast. Within minutes, backup arrived. The men were arrested, and Jill was taken to the hospital. Katie, a devout Christian with a heart as steady as the Cascades, stayed by her side. Like Elijah lifting the widow's son, Katie lifted Jill out of her nightmare. Recovery was slow. The medical team treated her injuries. The church family fed her, prayed over her, and sat with her through long nights. Jill's memory remained fogged, but her spirit began to heal. She discovered she had a lovely singing voice, clear, warm, and haunting. She joined the church choir, and soon 2 other ladies formed a trio with her. Their harmonies carried a depth that only suffering and redemption can produce. They became known across the region. Invitations came from churches throughout Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and eventually Nebraska. One autumn, the trio traveled to a small town for a weekend of concerts. Jill had a touch of bronchitis and visited the local clinic before the evening service. The doctor on call stepped into the exam room. "Good afternoon," he said. "I'm Dr. Sam Colson." She looked up, and something inside her shifted. Sam smiled kindly, the way he always did, with patience. He listened to her lungs, asked questions, wrote a prescription. But as he spoke, Jill felt a strange pull in her chest, a familiarity she couldn't explain. Interestingly, Sam felt it too, a quiet stirring he couldn't name. As Jill prepared to leave, she coughed lightly. Sam handed her a tissue. She murmured, "Thank you." And something about the way she said it, the tone, the cadence, made Sam pause. "Have we met before?" he asked. Jill shook her head. "I don't think so." That evening, the trio sang at Jim and Emily's church. The sanctuary was full. Jill stepped up to the microphone and began a solo, a gentle lullaby she had written months earlier, a song that had come to her in a dream. It was the same lullaby she used to sing to her little boy in Chicago. Sam sat in the front row. As Jill sang, his heart began to pound. He knew that melody. He had heard it as a child, not from memory, but from the deepest part of his soul. Jim and Emily had hummed it to him when he was small, saying it was the tune he used to murmur in his sleep before they adopted him. Sam's eyes filled with tears. Jill's voice trembled as she reached the final verse. A flash, a tiny hand, a porch step, a giggle flickered in her mind. She gasped, nearly dropping the microphone. Sam stood up. The congregation watched as he walked slowly toward the stage, eyes locked on hers. Jill's breath caught. Something inside her broke open, a dam of memory long held back. "Son," she whispered. He climbed the steps, tears streaming. "Mom?" The sanctuary fell silent. Jill covered her mouth, sobbing. Sam reached her, and she collapsed into his arms. Jim and Emily stood, stunned and trembling, watching the miracle unfold. The boy they had raised, the woman they had prayed for without knowing her name, reunited by a lullaby God had preserved in both their hearts. Katie, who had traveled with the trio, wept openly. The church erupted in praise, not loud but reverent. A holy hush filled the room as mother and son held each other for the first time since the day evil tried to tear them apart. Hopelessness became burden carrying. Burden carrying had become healing. Healing had become restoration. Just as Elijah returned the widow's son to her arms, God returned Jill's son to hers. And in that Nebraska church, under warm lights and tear-filled eyes, Jill whispered the words she had waited years to say. "My boy, my sweet boy, I never stopped loving you." Sam held her close. "I know, Mom. I know."